So today's round is at the Pearl Golf Club in Owensboro, Kentucky. I missed my drive. Somehow it didn't record, but I ended up about 100 yards out, got on, and then three putt for a 5, so disappointing start. The next hole's par 5. I hit a pretty good drive, and then a layup. To about 100 yards, and then a 50-degree wedge into the second green. And a pretty good look at birdie, but cannot convert the birdie. But an easy tap-in par. And on to the third hole, which is a par 3, about 145 yards. Got to go over water, so I took a little extra club, an 8-iron, and hit it really well and just a little bit over, right over the pin. So now I have a chip and hopefully a putt for par. And I'm able to convert that par putt. Fourth hole, I hit this 3-wood right through that tree on the right. You could hear it hit the leaf or the branch, and it ended up in the whatever this stuff is, deep grass, but it was dry and wispy, so I was able to actually get through it with a 6-iron, about 160 yards, just about pin high to the right of the green. And now we need some short game to bail us out. And hit actually a really good chip. Yeah, to about 4 feet. And somehow can hopefully save par after a pretty bad drive. And I do. So on to number 5, which it's a dogleg left. You have to keep this to the right in the fairway if you can, and I do go right, but a little too far right, and end up about 190 yards away from the pin. And I have those trees on the right sort of blocking me, so I hit actually a pretty good 4-iron left of the green, which leaves me a chip. And just short of the green. I was kind of short-sighted, so I didn't want to go too far over. I actually had a putt through the fringe. Pretty good putt. And I tapped that in for bogey, I believe. Yes. So hole number 6 is a par 5. Pretty straight tee shot. I hit it just a little bit to the right, but not terrible, just in the short rough. And there is a creek in front of this green at about 220 yards, so it's a pretty easy layup. I think I have a 5-iron and hit it about 180, just short of the creek. Yeah, and then I think it left me about 75 yards with a 56 degree, and hit that fairly well. And another look at birdie. But cannot get that one to drop. But an easy par. We'll take it. Par 3, I think this was about 160 yards into the breeze. So I have a 6 iron. Obviously, the water is in play. Goes right up to the green, so definitely don't want to be short. And I end up on the green, but a little bit right. And this is where things start to unravel a little bit. Short game sort of lets me down, and that's not a good thing. And the greens were quicker than I remember them. I've played this course a few times. It seems like they were definitely quicker this time. They rolled out a lot more, just like that putt there. Left me a good, 4.5, 5 feet. And, these are putts you just have to make to keep your score respectable. And just pull that a little bit to the left. So that's a disappointing bogey 4, 3 putts. And, this is where it gets ugly. So I don't know why I hit driver. I should have just hit 3-wood. I was hitting it pretty good, but, it's about a 380-yard par 4. So that went into the hazard left, so I dropped, and that goes into the trees to the right. And I believe my battery died, or something malfunctioned from here until my drive on number 9, which was a good drive. I ended up making 7 on the par 4 with 2 penalty shots. And then this shot was from about 125 uphill with a wedge. I thought I hit it good, but way short. And now I've got an uphill putt and leave it way short. Probably a good 10 feet. Probably overcorrected from the previous greens where I was pretty much rolling everything past. And yeah, that's another 3 putt if I can knock the 1-footer in. So yeah, with that triple, that killed me. I was keeping it right around, upper 30s, low 40s, and end up with 43 on the front. Number 10, I hit it good drive, back to the 3-wood, but caught the hill on the left side of the fairway and rolled it over into this rough. So now I have a 56 degree that I have to kind of blast out of the rough and leave it short. And then again, short game sort of letting me down. I usually count on my short game to kind of keep my head above water and keep the score, around 80 at least, high 70s, low 80s. But today it was just a little bit off. It happens. So, another bogey. Par 5. This played about 518 yards. I am playing the silver tees, which are about 6,400 yards. Hit a pretty good drive, short rough, and then was going to lay up 4 iron, just not a good shot. Pulled it to the left. Now I still have 160 out of the rough and hit a pretty good 6 iron, but short. And 4th shot, not a great chip. And not a great putt. So, just overall, just a bad hole. And tap in for a bogey 6. So on the bogey train, this is about I believe 190-ish, 194, I think is what I calculate, or what I shot it at with my rangefinder. And probably my best iron shot of the day. When looking at it, it's going right at the pin. I think the pitch mark was just a couple of feet away and it rolled to the back fringe. But, yeah, these greens were really running out. That, still a bad putt, but it's just a bad error to make when you're 15 feet away and you blow it 8 feet past. So disappointing bogey. And this is a par 4 uphill. You can see the terrain, about 360. Hit a 3-wood, decent drive. Right side of the fairway. I have about 155 to the pin. Hit a solid 7-iron. And now I have about 20 feet for birdie. Now this is probably my fault. I walked this green and I saw how it was a downhill putt, but subtle. But you could see the green was really slick. And yeah, that goes a good 10 feet past. So just a poor putt. There's no excuses. And can't convert. So another 3-putt bogey. Ugly. So this is a par 5 on the short side, 500 yards, but a little uphill. Good drive with my 3-wood. And this is probably my best shot of the day. 275 yards, 3-wood, just gonna lay up. And got it to about 20 yards short of the green. So this is the good, along with the bad and the ugly that we've seen. I don't know if you could tell that chip hit the green and then kicked hard right somehow. I don't know what it hit, but right toward the pin. So a nice birdie to mix in with the onslaught of bogeys. Par 4, 375. I decided to try the driver again and actually hit it decent. Left me about 105 yards, and I have the 50 degree, I believe, and hit it pretty solid. So a pretty good look at birdie. But I'm a little bit tentative on the greens now with the way I've been putting, so I just don't want a 3-putt. Very defensive now. This is a par 3, it's playing 185, but it's over water, so I hit my 4-iron again, and I knew it was probably a little too much. And in this case, it was a lot too much because it went about 15 yards over the green, short-sided myself out of the rough, And yeah, just had to make sure I got on the green. So still got 20 feet for par. And that goes a good 4 to 5 feet past. So now I've got after a good tee shot, I'm scrambling for bogey. That kind of day. And it rattles in up on against the pin. 17th hole, 350 yards. Again, trying to just play it safe with the 3-wood. Good thing this was a pretty wide fairway because I drew it pretty hard to the left rough, really thick rough. I had about 135 and gouged out a 9-iron into the sand. Sand was a little wet. I guess they had just watered it, so had to be a little bit careful. Just, again, get it out. Which I did, and had a 15 or so foot putt for par. And I think that goes past a few feet. And yeah, I was able to clean that up for a bogey. So this hole, 18, 350, you can't go right because it's a steep downslope, probably 45-degree angle. And that's exactly where I went. It's so steep that I can't get the camera down there. But I had about 175 to the pin and hit maybe my third best shot of the day with a 5-iron to the spot, pin high. Would have been nice to finish with a birdie, but it's not happening. So overall, disappointing round. 43 on the front, 41 on the back, a little bit better, but just not good. But that's golf, so we'll do better next time. See you on the next one.